everybody. It's time for my 2 cents. Welcome to this week's edition of our show. I'm your girl, Pastor Steph.
Shantice.
And I'm that Brooklyn guy, Ainsley Harris.
All right. We got a couple of viewers on. Let's say hello to our girl, Ketty. And we're going to say hello to Mama Harris. Hello there, Mama Harris. Thank you both for joining us. And we got some stuff to talk about today. But before we get to our reviews, Shantice has got some trivia or something for us, an old school throwback, something she got going on over there.
All right.
So I've been coming across an Instagram account that actually it's not only on Instagram. I've been seeing some things on Facebook. The new thing now is to post a lot of like, did you know, or I bet you didn't know, or can you believe about typically throwback movies. Not too many sitcoms I've been seeing, but throwback movies. And I came across one that is definitely a classic. And you can go ahead and cue the video. Really, really interesting things like what happened. And I don't know if you guys have been tuning in, but Tubi has been really racking up with the throwback movies. So if y'all have not been tuning into Tubi, you've been cheating yourselves.
Favorite movies, I'm going to say of all time.
What?
Why Do Fools Fall in Love?
Really? It's so funny. It's one of those things you appreciate later. I don't know if Vivica told you, but we all wanted Zola. Everybody wanted to play Zola. It was a fight for Zola, and it was a lot of round of who was going to play what. It was Toni Braxton and Queen Latifah and Vivica were doing Why Do Fools Fall in Love. And for whatever reason, they didn't want to do it. It didn't work out. I don't know. Vivica was cast as Zola at first. Then when the other two fell out, they're like, oh, the movie's opening up again. I said, oh, is it? And then they came back, and then Hallie and I were at it. They want you to read for Amira. And I said, what? Again? I don't know.
Well, look, I'm grateful that it was you and Vivica and Hallie.
Me too.
So the original cast was Queen of Fever, Toni Braxton, and Vivica A. Fox.
Wow.
Or Why Do Fools Fall in Love.
Wow. Well, I'm for one am glad that Toni Braxton was nowhere near this. I don't think Queen Latifah would have done any justice. They landed quite accurately.
I agree.
I can't remember the movie, but I can't see Toni Braxton kind of acting under no circumstances.
Yeah, it's funny that Layla Rashawn says they were all vying for Zola because Zola was the high-end one, so I'm not surprised that they were all vying for that role, but I gotta say that it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfectly cast.
I agree with Ainsley. I can't see Toni Braxton acting at all. And
No.
Queen Latifah, none of the three roles, in my opinion, would have fit her.
No.
Definitely not Zola, not Myra, not even what was the other one name? The one Vivica Fox played, and that was the crazy one.
Yeah.
And we know Queen Latifah can play crazy, but
Yeah.
I can't even see Vivica Fox being Zola.
No, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it ended up being perfectly cast. You couldn't really see anyone, at least for me. I couldn't see Vivica Fox playing Zola or Elmira. You know, she was the rough one, and she rocked the role. You know, she really
I can see
did
it though.
well.
I can see her doing it though. I can see it
Who?
doing.
You can see who
Vivica,
doing what?
Vivica playing any role.
I can't see her playing Zola. Zola's too high end for Vivica Fox. Over Halle Berry? Nah, not to me. Not to me.
Okay,
Not to me. I think they landed perfectly, and
they did. They did.
nobody tried to outdo one another.
Right,
They
right, right.
all knew their roles, and they all played them well. And it's just a sign of a true actress.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a sign of a true actress. That was interesting, though. That was interesting. You know, I would like to go back. You know, it's funny. I was saying over the last couple of days that I would be real interested in seeing a lot of the what do you call it? The screen testings.
Yes.
All those who tried out for parts and it didn't go to them. It ended up going to someone else. And ironically, this came up. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I like those kind of things. I've been seeing a lot. Not so much that, but things like behind the scenes that wasn't in the script.
Right.
How they got into it. Like I didn't realize with Eddie Murphy and what's the comedian's name? John Witherspoon. The whole scene,
and
Boomerang.
Yes.
The whole scene. He said they had shot the movie already, but Eddie Murphy, he wanted him in the movie.
Wow.
So they specifically shot that. And he was like, okay, great. And they said, what's the script? He was like, there ain't no script. You just go for it.
Wow.
So that whole thing, you got to coordinate. I've been saying that you got to coordinate.
What?
And
That
it
was
worked.
all an improv?
Yeah. Eddie Murphy wanted that. Because they said, Paramount, they was like, no, we done. And Eddie Murphy said, no, you work for me. I want you on it. So he made it work. Yeah.
Nice.
Stuff like that. You know,
Nice.
I like hearing stuff like that.
Yeah.
That scenes that become really kind of memorable like that. You know.
Yeah. That was one of the standout scenes out of the whole movie.
Yeah.
That was the Thanksgiving dinner. And see what happens when you work for yourself, how you can call the shots.
Yeah.
He didn't have to clear it with no writer, no director, no executive producer, because he was all of that. Nah, I'm saying and I'm so happy to hear that on this side of the fence as well.
Yeah.
This side of the fence that I see someone who paved the way for me. He was, that's not his peer. That was a generation ahead of him. And it's like, nah, I want him in this. He didn't have a huge role, but again, because John Witherspoon was John Witherspoon, he gonna make whatever one line or 50 lines memorable. And him and that one, they always played good together. They were in a house party together, and they were good. The one who played the wife.
Yeah, that is his wife.
Yeah,
that is his wife. I don't care what the real wife looked like, sounded like. She was made for him. I'm so sorry. She was so made for him. Oh my goodness. But it's funny because I did hear that particular scene launched something else. I don't know whether it was the Wayans brothers. It was something that particular scene launched that he did later, and he continued to do it. I got to go back and look at the.
They have been, because, like Ainsley said, the whole coordinate thing. And if you watch the Wayans brothers, look at every single outfit he had on in every single episode of the Wayans brothers. They always get right back to that whole.
Oh yeah, that's true. That
crazy, outlandish. His personal style. It was crazy.
yeah.
It definitely. I can't remember precisely, but it definitely said that particular scene sparked him doing that going forward, because it was, and to think that was straight improv. It goes back to the Bad Boys 2, where the improv between with Reggie, that was straight improv. And to think these all these actors can just kind of land on their feet and feed off one another is amazing. It is.
Here's a top dog one of them all. Denzel Washington. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. That's
really?
improv.
That was improv?
That was not in the script.
Wow.
That wasn't in it. And after it was over, I forget the director. It's a black director. He said, "I hope you got it," because he said that was all him. That whole scene with that wasn't in the script. That was just him into it, and he just went with it.
Wow. Amazing. I love to see that. And I would love to come up with more trivia. That's some interesting stuff. So thanks for sharing that. Anika says, hey, that's cool to learn. That was all improv, but he was also a very good comedian. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff kind of sparks what you can do, because remember, a lot their jokes are, written and like on the spot. Sometimes that's what they're doing. It's not written out. So
yeah. And I happened to see John with his seen him in doing a comedy thing, and he was like truly funny, just on his own. Some people they're just natural. They're not trying to write stuff. He just flow with it. In interaction with the audience, it was so natural. Just with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what he was ever on, he always had this swag, and I'm using that word specifically, because his swag wasn't, like a cool, Don
right.
they would say, but he had his own swag, and it always was delivered just like that. I think about when he was in the 5 Heartbeats, and he was, announcing that, and he was like, right. He always had this swag about him that he always owned, no matter 1 line, 20 lines, he owned it. And it was just him. It was just straight him. So he is definitely a missed, presence, in our movies and things like that since his passing. But he definitely has a long resume.
Yeah.
Resume. So we got the best of them. We got the best of them.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about this movie, Burden of 9 Lives.
Yes.
Okay. And I didn't get I'm sorry, I didn't get my trivia up. Let me get my trivia up here for Burden of 9 Lives. Okay. Always like to, get my. Okay. So the plot it's a 2024 movie, which is interesting because we're focusing on 2024 movies.
Yep.
And the Burden of 9 Lives, after witnessing his 2 closest cousins executed during a black market sale gone wrong, Jimmy Diaz barely surviving the trap. That's the way he lives his life in the rest of the movie. Just barely surviving. All right, I'm gonna give this one to you first, Brother Ainsley.
Well, I didn't get a chance to finish watching it.
Okay, but for what you saw, wait, before we do it, I want to go, do we see any familiar faces in here? For me, I would say no. We've got the one who plays the lead role of Jimmy, Steven Fernandez. I've never seen him in anything before. The one who plays Pauline, the nurse, Ashley Rose Nicholas. I've never seen her before. The one who plays Russell, Luis Barrero. And I wanted to see this other, the gangster guy. I wanted to see what his name was. And he plays, what's his name? What was the name of the main? Gabrielle. He played Rico Hundo. Played Gabriel. So
Right.
this was actually written by Vega Montenez and directed by Vega. And we were supposed to have Vega on with us this evening, but we're missing him. So let's get to talking about any pluses. Good stuff.
To me, it was an interesting storyline. To me, you could tell this was more or less a low budget film. And so I started to see things that indicate that was a low budget film. But I only got up to about 40 minutes into it.
Mhm.
And it seemed like an interesting storyline. There were some things though that I looked at. I'm like, okay, I didn't like. So I was like, I had to prepare myself for more of that, if you will. But interesting storyline. And but I'm sorry I didn't really get a chance to really get through it all because I really wanted to see where it go, because I'm like, is it actually 9 lives? Is it nine attempts at this guy's life? Because I got to about 2 on the screen.
Okay.
I'm like, is this where we're going with this?
Okay.
See where it was going, where it was going to go.
Okay. Shanti's highlights.
I agree. The storyline was interesting. The getting the nurse involved, even though it was like, girl, what this got to do with you? That helped to add to the story as far as interesting, because it's like, it's not like it was something that was pulling her in. She really chose, to be involved to the degree that she was. So that definitely helped to make it a little more interesting.
Wait, the nurse got involved in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, yeah, why are they calling on her for?
Yeah.
I didn't get to that part,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened much later down the line.
Right.
I'm like, I'm sure they're waking up messing around when you come out the shower. I'm like, yo, where'd that come from? Okay.
Yeah, and the storyline definitely had me wanting to see, like, okay, well, what's gonna happen next? Like, what's gonna happen next? How is he planning on getting his plan executed? And this whole attempt to kill him because he was the one who made it away from the initial, the initial hit. So now it's like, well, we got to get him before he tells, and so on and so forth. So it definitely kept me like, okay, well, I wonder how this is gonna unravel. Like I said, especially once the nurse got herself involved, and it's like, I was like, what does this have to do with you? But yeah, so that was a highlight for me. That it actually had me like, well, I am interested to see how this is gonna unfold.
Okay.
It didn't seem too predictable. That's the highlight for me. I don't like these.
Okay.
It's like, I know what's going to happen next.
That's true.
Okay.
I like watching movies like that.
That was kind of like a highlight for me, the unpredictability when they went to sell the gems or whatever that was to Gabriel, and only for it to have been his stuff to begin with.
Yeah.
I thought that was an interesting turn. I did actually like that. What else was a highlight for me? It was interesting how she ended up getting involved. It ended up not being that typical love story, which was something for me. I was kind of glad, because it's so predictable. The women, they fall in love, or they got some girlfriend that they already involved in, and now she got to make a decision whether she want to stay or go. So I thought it was kind of interesting the way they infused her, and when she kept going to the bed every time he got sick, I was like, why you just look like you so vested in this?
Right.
Every time something happened and he had to, y'all need to get out the room and da 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 da. I'm like, oh my goodness, why are you so involved?
Yeah, I was like, the part I was saying, I was like, I've been in a hospital, unfortunately, and I never had no nurse act like that.
Me either, Ains. And that was one of
And my
my
mom's a
thoughts.
nurse. That never happened.
Yeah, me either. I was like, why are you so vested in this whole, you gonna protect him against the detectives? And I was like, go sit down somewhere.
Yeah.
So that was what, something that I did catch as well. Didn't anticipate that she was going to get fully involved the way she did, and end up shooting the guy. So it was, those were the two highlights for me.
I didn't see it. Who got shot?
Quite a few people. Right? Quite a few people got shot. Well, you saw the cousins in 40 minutes in. You saw the two cousins.
Yeah, I saw that.
That had gotten shot. You saw them. At the end, Gabriel gets shot. He dies.
Okay, good.
Remember his right hand man, the black guy, ended up being his cousin, which was kind of weird as well. That one was kind of weird for me.
Oh yeah, because he said when I said he had messed up, he said like he mentioned you my cousin. Like I'm saying, if you don't do it, I want to kill you. And it's kind of strange that he said the cousins, because when they're in the park, he was talking about like, I don't have no family. When they're doing the transaction, he's talking about, I don't have no family. So I'm surprised that he mentioned that this person is his cousin. That means he was lying the whole time.
Right. Because I was kind of thrown as well. I kept saying, wait a minute, did you just say that was his cousin? So he ended up getting shot. The funny part, one of the highlights were the girls. Now, I gotta say this, y'all. Now,
wait, the girls that came over and they got caught up in the shootout in the apartment.
Yeah, I gotta say this, y'all. So we got to check in from Teresa. Hey, Teresa, thank you so much for joining us. I gotta say this one. So we know it's New York, because nowhere else looks like New York but New York. Period.
Yeah.
You always know New York. If you're a New Yorker, as soon as the first shot of anywhere in New York, it's New York. You know it's New York.
As a matter of fact, when being from New York, you're like, okay, that Brooklyn or that's the Bronx, or that's
right. And you know what our projects look like.
Yep.
So when I saw these girls, when they were standing outside, and when they came in, and then they were naked, pretty much, with these, skimpy things on, because they were gonna, like call girl prostitutes, whatever you want to call them. And I was like, in the projects, come on. You're supposed to be all of this, and you got these girls coming to the projects. You need to stop. You need to go to a hotel, do something. You're supposed to be a baller. Go and
I didn't see that part, but that sounds like
that's the part. I was like, I gotta talk about that tonight. I
wish I had seen that.
Only for the shootout to take place, and they end up hiding on the floor, and and I'm like, okay, y'all, no, that was funny to me. That took me by surprise as well, because when the shot from on the outside of the door didn't look like that's who they were going to be when they turned the angle from the front. I was like, oh, in the projects? Okay. And then they go to the back. Listen, I was raised in the projects. I'm not anticipating all of this going on in no projects. If you're supposed to be a baller, get out the projects and take them to a hotel somewhere. And they walk in the doorway, and let me tell you something. Projects are projects. They walk down this hallway, and I was like, in the projects, yo, get them girls out of there and do what you need to do. Hey, Viv, we got Vivian checking in. Thank you so much for joining us. So that was the funny part to me. Huh?
I said, if they okay with being in the projects, then I go spend their money on some girls that don't mind walking up in the project building butt naked. Why am I gonna invest in you? You obviously ain't willing to invest in yourself.
I guess. All right. On the flip side, what we got, Ainsley, in your 40 minutes of viewing, Did you see anything?
Yeah, like I said, I could see. Yeah. Oh, I gotta see this. Because when you start seeing low budget, like it seemed like everything you started paying attention to little things, particularly for those who work behind the scenes. I gotta say the audio was pretty good throughout the whole thing. Um, what kind of got to me though, like I seen the part when he's in the hospital, and he's supposed to snuck out the hospital. Now when he got out the room, and he put on the doctor's like thing, and like you supposed to ain't see nobody, and you walking out the hospital with no pants on. First of all, when you're walking through the hallway, I'm like, this don't look like no hospital, man. This is like a school library or something like that. You know what I mean? Cause I done did stuff like this before. I seen the hospital room. They was in the gym. Like a gym.
Right.
I seen one in the laundromat.
Right.
What?
Yeah, listen, we
gotta make do what you gotta do.
Yeah, we've done this, and you do exactly what you need to do to get the job done. You
ain't got
make it look like a hospital or whatever it needs to be as the best you can.
That's right. You put some crib mattresses on top of a table. That's you guys make it do what it do, man.
Yes. Yes. So you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. That was funny.
Yeah. So it was stuff like that. I was like, you gotta do what you gotta do. I ain't mad at you. Do what you gotta do. And to me though, it was the one scene like when one of the cousins died, when they showed him, and I'm like, did he move? Is he really dead?
Yeah. I asked myself the same thing. I was like, wait, who dies and their leg stays propped up?
That's what I said. I was like, no, with your last breath, your leg collapses. Put that leg down.
Yeah, but I was like, what?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, so
I caught that as well. The knee was propped up. I was like,
yeah.
Put the leg down. Put the leg down. All right, Shantice, what you got?
Real quick, I forgot to mention on the highlight side, the cop who was supposed to be the security guard for the door.
Oh, on the phone.
And he said, "Now I can leave now. I don't care about this job." And then when he was hanging up, he looked at him. He said, "I'm definitely getting fired today." But you don't have on a security uniform. You have on the NYPD uniform.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
Like, no. So that was funny. I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
The opposite side. Okay. Beside the leg, I wanted to know why the detective's hair color didn't match his beard.
1 second.
I was like, what is happening? Why isn't it matching? Now it could be a woman thing because we pay attention to that when we go buy our ponytails and our weaves. We gotta make sure it matches, or it's at least in the family. But that had me like, I was dying at that. The downside, I would just say certain parts of the cinematography, not throughout the whole movie, just certain parts of it didn't look as on point as other parts. But even like the quote unquote bad parts wasn't like horrific. It was just like, okay, you can tell it's a low budget movie. Low budget movies. Again, like Ainsley said, that's how you can tell because of the quality of the cinematography. And for people who know what it is to start grassroots, it's like you see it for what it is, you accept it, and you analyze everything else. It's like, okay, I understand we start from here, but you still got to make sure the things are on point. So because there's been times I couldn't get past the opening credits. I'm like, I can't. Who chose the font? I can't. I can't get past this. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, too, the credits on this one that had me going too.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that had me
the plane going.
I
going vertical.
It wasn't until I saw his name. I thought it was an ad. I said, but I didn't see the countdown for the ad. Yeah, that kind of had me a little thrown as well. That kind of had me a little thrown. But yeah, I would say that was like the downside. There was certain parts of the cinematography wasn't as on point as the other parts. But again, the sound was good too, so it's not like I had to keep rewinding to listen. Like, wait, what? But
the audio was good, and that's normally the first thing that goes.
Right. Well, yes. That's
Audio,
why
I
you
can't
can't get
stand
through
it.
the opening. You can't get through the first 5 minutes because as soon as you hear the,
I want to say you hear all the air in the background.
yeah, you hear it humming in the background.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I can't. No, that's
I
all
can't stand it. I'd be like, what they say? What? I
can't take it.
Yeah,
Once
whoever's
you hear that-
in charge of the audio, I give them kudos for that. Whoever did it,
they did a good job. They did a good job. What was that? It was something that I had to laugh at. On the flip side, I can't remember. Oh, I had to laugh. So remember, there was in the beginning when they were talking to the aunt, and they were standing in the doorway, and she was standing at the stove, and he said, when he walked up, he said, that sure looks good. And I want to say, what you see in this little pot?
I thought she was looking at drugs.
Okay, yeah.
So what you see in the little pot? But that part just came to my head. The part that I had to laugh at was it so looked like a tenement apartment. It had that look of, because listen, again, raised in the Bronx, in, tenement buildings, it had that look. And I said to myself, I know they didn't just film this here recently, and apartments are still looking like that.
For 1,500.
Yeah. Okay, so someone explain this to me. All right, the same part when he ran out the hospital, right, and he ran into this like a tenement apartment. All right, it looked like the doorway was small. The room he was changing his clothes in was small.
Yes.
And the two women that came in, and okay, that's another part. And they said, who was that? Okay, first of all, you hit somebody in your apartment. I don't know how many people are gonna stay in there and say, oh, let me call the police. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get the heck out, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everything looks so small. But I'm like, but what? Who were they? What did he go
That
to?
was the aunt and
That was the
like
aunt
a friend.
and a friend or
Oh,
something.
that was the aunt?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the aunt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And I thought the same thing. I'm like, why don't you get out the apartment if you yelling and you hear somebody in there?
Oh, I'm gonna call the police.
I'm like, you ain't leaving about this house. Ain't nowhere in the world.
And you right behind the door too. You right behind the door.
Right. It would take nothing to turn around. In 2 steps, you'd be out the door. I'm calling from the other side of the door. But I had to chuckle because I'm looking at the apartment. I'm like, wow. I said, this is recent that they filmed this, and this apartment still the paint still looks the same. The walls.
Yeah.
Like, wow. So it was just like comical to me to see that, not a critical thing, but just like, wow. But other than that, I really don't have anything, real negative to say about it, or for a movie on this level. We've seen like some trash.
For real.
I'm really happy that, there was a step up, from that particular level, because again, like you said, just the sound quality, that humming that goes on, that air that goes on in the background that they can't seem to get rid of. There was none of that. It was no up and down. And if you ever notice when they change scenes, the sound quality shifts.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they sounded this way, and then when they went to the hospital, it was this way, and then they fought on the street, it was that way. So that there. What was comical to me was the detective's hair. that thing that was hanging up in his face. I'm
Yeah,
like,
It was
yeah.
black, but the beard was brown. I was like, who?
I didn't even notice that. Okay.
I was like, comb your hair. Just come in. It was just all this. He talking, and hair's all up in his face.
He
And
was
I'm
just a
like,
pain to me, but I was like, yeah.
do you really think the other detective is going to take you seriously? Come here, So but again, the quality was decent. The storyline, definitely. I was wondering where they were going. I was wondering how it was going to end. So, that there, it did keep my interest. So, Ainsley, kick it or click it. The burden of 9 lives.
Despite, they have to call 911 at the door, in the hair. You know what? I'll give it a click.
Okay, alrighty. Shantice, click it or kick it.
I would say click it. I'll say click it. It wasn't predictable, and it had me wanting to see how the storyline was gonna unfold. So click it.
Okay. For the same reasons, I say click it. Once it's not a blockbuster movie or a movie on, a Hollywood movie, most times it doesn't really hold your attention, because again, it's either predictable or the quality is poor, and you're like fighting your way to, and it doesn't even matter what the storyline is, because the quality is so bad you just can't even bear it. So he's like, okay, if this is a good story, then I'm sorry, I will never know. But so it was a pleasure to actually see what it was not predictable. There was a couple of left turns and things like that. A couple of the actors really seemed authentic, in my opinion. You could really, that was just like street people, and that the dialogue was from the street. I think Gabriel did a good job, actually. I think he did a pretty good job in portraying his role. And well, that's not his name. His name is Rico Hundo, portraying Gabriel. I think he did a pretty good job with that. So I say click it. So, all right. So it made it. Tubi movie made it. All right.
Cool.
Reasonable Doubt season 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Shantice, you got first dibs on this one.
I'm so happy it came back. And came back slapping. What is up with you slept with this woman's husband and you trying to sue them because the baby died? Anybody kill that baby? Now you already had complications while carrying. That had nothing to do with anybody. You were already at high risk. You weren't supposed to be able to get pregnant. You ended up getting pregnant. That was already high risk. You didn't think, you weren't sure whether or not you'd be able to carry full term. You were able to carry full term. That was a big risk. Because if you were able to have the delivery, then the baby's so. I love how it started out with showing that Jax and Lewis's marriage is still tight. That despite all of the craziness from last season, and last season ending with the introduction of the lawsuit, and we're coming back and they're not all bickering and fighting and so on and so forth, but very, very close-knit, tight-knit. I love Jax is one of those women, she's just going to remind you of who she is and what she's able to do. And they were sitting in the deliberation room, I guess, or wherever that was, and she was pretty much shutting their attorney down. And he kept looking at her like, listen, this ain't your job right now. This is his job. But to her, he wasn't getting the job done. And it's like, no, I'm sorry. You're just a little too passive for me. I love that dynamic. I wasn't too sure when they first introduced this case with the young actor. At first I was like, all right, this case is gonna be whack, especially compared to the last 2 seasons. Last season was her friend. That was really, really interesting. The first season was with Sean Patrick Thomas.
Right.
That one was good and interesting. I didn't think this one, but it's actually going really, really good. And as it's going and the storyline is building, it's like, wow. So that was a good, the whole child star thing, and now you get older. And that's whatchamacallit's daughter. Bruce Willis and whatchamacallit's daughter.
Who?
What's her name? Demi Moore.
Which one is the daughter?
The missing
Wendy?
the stylist. The one
Wendy.
Really?
Wendy. That's their daughter.
Wow.
Oh, really?
She played on a few episodes of Empire. She looks just like him. She looks nothing like Demi Moore.
But I didn't recognize her face.
Well, in Empire, she had black hair. In this, she has blonde hair.
Blonde hair. Oh, well, that made her look completely different because
She
I
looks
didn't pick up.
just like Bruce Willis.
Wow, she does.
Yeah.
She does. She has a crazy look because she looks like the female version of him.
Yes. Just like nothing like Demi Moore. But yeah, that I wish she would have played in it a little more. I mean, because I think in Empire she played someone who I think wanted to be a musician or was a musician and was on drugs or something like that.
Yeah, she was. She was in rehab with Jamal.
Yes. And in here, of course, she didn't really get too much screen time. They need to get rid of the one who plays her assistant. That's rapper Cash Doll, the one who played in BMF.
Oh,
She's horrible. Horrible. Need to get rid of her.
The one in the office, the bigger
The black girl who was doing a press conference, and she was like, "Where you at?
oh.
Where you like, girl, shut up." She was horrible. She needs
Yeah,
to be
pain. Yeah, she's like a pain.
She
Yeah.
needs to be missing. But everything else I think is going. I want to make sure. Are we talking about the first 3 episodes only, or the first 4?
the first 3, please.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. But yeah, it's I love how the storyline is building. The daughter got big. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We just saw y'all. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, daughter got big. Yeah, but I love the dynamic between the two of them still with their marriage, and this whole storyline of this child star and things unraveling with him. You seen how his little life was unraveling, so on and so forth, and now the girlfriend is missing and she woke up dead and all this. It's like, oh, okay, this is actually interesting. All right.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait. And Tommy then left Ghost, and now he's a lawyer.
That's what I was going to really say. Oh my goodness! I was like, Tommy.
Yes,
oh,
Tommy.
I was like, oh, Tommy lived. Even
Tommy switched legal side.
I was calling him Tommy.
Yes, he done switched legal side. It was one scene where he gave the Tommy face. I was like, no, you can't do that here. This is not the Tommy face series. No, you can't give that. This isn't Force, so this isn't Power. No. Well, yeah, with him being the divorcee now, and trying to get back on track with his ex-wife and back on track with the kids, and while he's trying to make partner, and them partners are something else.
Yeah, the top 2.
Yes,
the top 2. Yes,
and that lady, they are something else. But the lady isn't a partner, but they are something else. Oh my goodness, yeah. So those are my highlights.
Okay. Ainsley, what you got?
Same thing what Shanti said. I'm liking it. To me, it seemed like this is getting better. Even that time frame is getting more. It's getting better. Sometimes things seem to lose steam.
Right.
But it's keeping its pace well. And them 42 whatever minutes they're using, they are maximizing it all to the fullest.
Yeah.
Nothing is like drawn out. I like the dynamic of Jax and Stewart, how they're really together. You know, their camaraderie, they're really together. Um, and certainly their frailties. Because there was even one moment, it looked like Jax, she was thinking about, the night that Stewart spent the night over at Tony's house, and he didn't answer the telephone, and she went to sit in the hallway and put her head on
Morris
shoulder. It was
up.
like, and she thought they having flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, please don't y'all go there again.
Yeah.
But I love their dynamic, the storyline again with the young actor. I was like, okay, where is this going? But one thing I like, I see two little other dynamics. First of all, even I'm calling him Tommy, but I think his name in the show is Billy or Bill.
Yes, Bill. Yes,
Bill. I think he has a little manipulative way and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like when he asked to be a partner, and he was like, "Well, listen, what can I do to make this sooner than later?" And I said, "Oh, well, let's come in and let's talk about that."
Right.
And when he invites Jax to lunch, and she was like, you only been here 6 years, and then we asked about the family. He brings the family dynamic. He knows how to kind of manipulate. And right at the end, the way he looked at her, it was like, yeah, you fall into what I really wanted you to do in the first place.
Yeah.
Had that manipulative Tommy look. And the same thing with the DA. He had this like, the young boy getting arrested. You don't want to put him under the spotlight.
Right.
When he manipulated that. Yeah, I spent time in the Coast Guard, and you want to run for the DA, whatever it may be. You don't want to do that, do you? And we're manipulating the situations behind it.
Right.
So, but I like the dynamic. Everything is moving really good. I like it. And to me, it looks like, I don't know what's going to happen, but it kind of looks like Jax look like she might have to start moving on, getting her own firm.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. She's opening her own practice. She has her own clientele.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe do something with
Corey
Cash.
Yeah.
Come together. When he asked her like how things going along with the firm, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's great." Blah 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 blah. You like,
yeah.
He was like, "Well, you know how it is."
Yes. Yeah. I'm with
I
you
like it.
too.
I really like what's going on. I really like it.
I do too. I like what's going on. I really like the strength of their relationship. And we touched on this last season, where the friendship is what really has brought them through. Them being friends had really, really made the difference in them just being able to withstand all of this that they've gone through. I'm lost at this Tony lawsuit. They didn't do why the money that she's asking for, and why they're intimidated by this lawsuit that's, in my opinion, baseless. How are you blaming them, like Shanti said, for the lawsuit? They didn't cause this baby to die. But when she said spend one night with her, I was like, no, please don't go there. Please don't say yes. And I guess it was interesting. It was interesting to see that it was just really kind of undoing the baby's existence in Tony's house. And, that's what that was. Excuse me.
To me, it seemed like, no, it was like she was still. It was that, but to me, her closure didn't really happen until she actually saw Stuart crying.
Yeah.
It was like somebody else got to feel some pain.
Right.
You didn't want to go to the funeral.
Right.
Maybe you didn't mean nothing. oh, you ain't set up a nursery yet and
Right.
whatnot. You know, it's only when she actually saw him crying
Right.
that it seemed like been like, okay, you
Yeah.
know, that's when the resolve to me seemed to come. Other
Yeah.
than that, it was like, yeah, I signed the paper. All right, yeah, whatever. You know,
Right. 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 And it went back to what the lawyer said when she
she
said, all right,
hurt.
what did
Yeah.
she fight? So you're dealing with a hurt woman and an angry woman. And I agree with you. I think that hers watching him cry with that little jersey onesie in his hand, it became real to her that he had feelings as well. Because, like you said, it all of us all along. It looks like I'm just the one with all the feelings. I'm just the one who's hurting here. I'm the
Hmm.
only one that's feeling this. So I think that's I agree. I think that's when it became real when she realized that he's actually feeling something as well. Because that's when she became apologetic.
Hmm.
Wasn't even apologetic before then. So I found that to be interesting. Um, I thought the same thing you thought with this new storyline with this kid and this boy, this little boy, celebrity. I was like, oh, this is gonna be straight whack. But as it's developing, it is definitely taking a turn of interest. It is definitely interesting where they're going with this, with all of his problems, and
Yeah.
the family dynamic is a mess. They are a mess. I like the fact that he said he liked Jax because she told him the truth. All
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
everybody else is pacifying me, baby me, coddling me, but you were the only one who stood up and told me the truth, who I was. So that there makes it's making this whole um storyline of the case much more interesting. And there was another part, um no, when Naima was telling the father,
All right.
excuse me, and the look on his face, I was hollering because he didn't know what
If
to
he
do
would
with
have
that.
died,
He
he would
didn't
have
know
died.
what
What
to
the?
do with that.
Right. You like.
Yes, because she was so adamant that it wasn't true. It
Hmm.
was like that really stuck him.
Hmm.
So she was like, and can you imagine? She said, like, we would be like sisters. I was like, okay. Um, so I do actually like in these, like I agree with you, Ainsley. They are filling these 40 some odd minutes with hard stuff. It reminds me of Power that never lets you breathe. Power was power packed from the moment it went up to the moment it finished. And
Mm-hmm.
this is the way these episodes, whoever's writing
Oh,
for
they going
them,
down with it. Yeah.
they
Yeah. Because it got to me going because I like it because it has me. I'm thinking. I'm anticipating, but I'm pretty sure it's going to change. I'm right now on these first three episodes. It's couldn't. At first, I was thinking the young boy. I forget his name now. He didn't do it. But that scene in the bathroom, he called somebody Alex and said,
right,
"Found the
right,
body."
right,
I'm like, "Yo!" And then I'm now thinking, "No, you got something to do with this for real
right,
now."
yeah. But he
And,
wants to, but it's the alibi. He's
yeah, I
got a
realized
secret
at the very
life.
end. At the end, yeah, at the very end.
Right,
But then when he was in
right,
the bathroom, when he's making all
right,
these
yes,
acting, like he's trying to get the facial things
right,
together, it's like, oh, you acting up a storm up here,
right,
you know? So
right,
maybe it ain't all what you appear to be here.
right,
Maybe you really
right,
did do it.
right. And here you've got somebody with this double life that now he won't step up because he don't want to be known, and he don't want to be called on the carpet for being there to be your alibi. So
Hmm.
now you stuck out there. Now you stuck out there, because this guy won't step up and say that y'all were together. Because saying y'all were together means that y'all are together.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
you know so
You're on the
it did
DL.
take an interesting turn because, like you said, it really gave the appearance like he knew about the like he had something to do with the murder.
Right.
So it was nice to now see there was another turn um for this direction where he's not necessarily guilty of killing her, but now, we're gonna find out some other stuff. So now, Shantice, I don't think Cash Doll did bad until she was like, "Where you at, so and so? Where you at?" That they could have given that to somebody else. Once she did that line, I was like, "Nah, she blew it. She was all
Yeah,
right."
she was bad. When she did that, she was horrific.
I don't think she did as bad until that part. It was like, okay, they could have left that they could have left that out. Now this part about the father coming back in, that was interesting with the mother who said now that her boyfriend was gone, now she's reminiscing over the good times that she and the father I was like, oh my gosh,
Cause
really?
didn't her mother marry the other dude?
Not Kevin, not that last black guy. No.
She married the stepfather who was trying to molest Jax, the white guy.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, but
She
not.
was just dating this other guy.
Okay, just dating the
Kevin
other guy.
guy.
Okay, all right.
So, that to me was interesting as well. Now she's inviting him back because now she's got an ulterior motive. So, all right, Ace, any negatives? Any flip side?
No, ain't no negatives. I'm just trying to figure out now who did it. That's what I'm thinking. Who did it? Is it the mom? You know, there's another lady there. They didn't really say who she was. It wasn't the mother, wasn't the father.
Yeah, the dark girl from P Valley.
The agent.
Oh, that's who she is?
Yeah, she's
okay.
his agent.
Okay, because I was like, at first I was like, is that Alex? At first I want to know who the heck is Alex. So my main thing is trying to figure out who, everybody who's in there, who did it, who possibly do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't have no anything down about it at all, really.
Okay. Flip side, Shantice.
No, I already spoke on my flip side as far as Cash Doll.
Okay.
Anything else? No, everyone else is on point. The one who's playing the actor who is being accused of the murder, he's doing a good job with his role. Everybody's doing good. We already know Jackson Lewis.
Okay.
The one who's playing her father, I
Richard
mainly know him.
Brooks.
Yeah, I mainly know him from being Mary Jane.
Yeah.
But
I mean, from Law and Order.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's all over the place. He's got some crazy credits.
Yeah, I know he's been in a whole lot of things, but being Mary Jane is the only thing that really sticks out in my memory. But he's a veteran. The mother, she always had like a couple of screws loose up there, and I think so far, Joseph, what's his last name? Sakura. He's being a really good addition for this. I love to see the versatility. We know him as a crazy, hostile Tommy, and now to see him reserved, on a consistent basis. It's not like a movie where it's a one-shot deal. It's a series, so it's episode after episode.
Right.
We get to see this character. So I'm really loving this character that he's playing. And what makes you a good actor and actress too is, and it doesn't always mean you're not good, because if we saw him here, but all we could still see and hear is Tommy, doesn't mean he's not doing a good job here. It means just how good you do of a job for Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But we're here, I'm not being reminded of Tommy. This is like a whole different character.
Right.
So I love that he's able to do that. He's able to now embed a different type of person in your mind that he's portraying. So yeah, but it's all good. Like the I'm not talking about that. So yeah, I like it.
Well, here's the thing I like about this Billy role is because he doesn't, and Ainsley kind of touched on it. You don't know which side of the fence he's playing on.
Right.
Because even when they went to him this last time, and he was like, "Oh, you want me to be a snitch?" And they
Right.
were like, "No." Like even the way he pushed the plate away, it was like he wasn't feeling it. And then he
Right.
goes to see Jax afterwards, and
Right.
I think her dialogue with him, and she was like, "You just made me partner after all," or he was like, "We." She was like, "Yeah, you're part of the team now." I think that's kind of throwing him for a loop because
Yeah.
y'all are portraying her in one light, but now he's getting close to her and he's seeing another side of her. And I like the fact that he's portraying this role where we don't really know where he stands. We don't know whether he's on the side of Jax or whether he's going to eventually tell her, or he's going to play this role because he wants to be this partner,
Right.
and he's going to be deceptive and going to eat up all of the stuff that she has been doing. And because when she started telling him, "Oh, he overdosed and blah blah blah," and I was like, "Oh no!" And then she was like, "No, you're a part of the team." That kind of threw him some.
Yeah.
He wasn't prepared for that. He wasn't prepared for that because again, she's being portrayed, and I'm interested in how they're going to move forward. And it's been my thought from last season that she's going to have her own practice.
Yeah.
Now, whether she partners up with Cash or not, I don't know. But she's destined to have, and I think this would give longevity to this series. For her now to end up with her own firm.
Yes.
I think this would extend this entire series.
Yes.
It would give it additional life. So I'm interested in where they're going with this. And I don't have any, nothing on the flip side of it. Where would you like to see this go, Ainsley?
Just keep going. I'm happy with where I was going. Just keep going. I don't know because I'm right now. I'm just want to say who did it. I'm curious to see watch the next few episodes.
Okay.
Everything is so good. It's like it's like having a good meal right in front. You just want to keep on eating. It's all good. It's all good. So.
Okay. Where would you like to see this go, Shantice?
Definitely like to see it go to where she gets her own practice, where she starts her own practice. After she slam dunks this, that's what I feel is gonna happen. I feel she's gonna slam dunk this because they're giving her so much like grief over how she's handling this. Like she said, I'm a beginner, so it's almost like a slam dunk. And this is just a reminder as to what you're going to be missing out on and losing out on because I'm leaving. Definitely love to see her and Lewis's marriage continue to go good. And I want to see how this Sally and her husband, how that's going to play out as well. Remember last season they were in counseling. She wanted to reconcile. He wanted to divorce. So right now they're in the middle of a divorce, and
did they show them?
Not so far this season.
Yeah, they showed her talking about it a little, but not like their dynamic they haven't showed yet. So
right.
And seeing how that's gonna play because everyone is still there. Chantel is still there. She's a huge reason as to why that marriage has failed. So I would definitely love to see how that plays out.
Okay. I am enjoying the fact that there's still Chantel, there's still Autumn, and there's still Sally. I really like the fact that they have kept they've kept this her friends, and not only that, she's calling Chantel for advice and for just to kind of lean on, and she's going to Autumn as someone who can help her with her with her client. So I really like where that's going. I would love to see their relationship, Jackson and Lewis's relationship, get stronger. I want to see Tony going. Kill her, move her out, send her to the moon. I don't care what y'all do with her. Get rid of Tony. I'm sick of her.
That should be it for it now, though, because he done spent the night. They got the content. So
Yeah.
that should be it for now, right?
Bye.
Yeah, she got enough screen time.
Yeah, bye. I don't ever want to see her again. I ever want to see her again. Please kill her. Just get rid of her.
Oh my God.
There's no reason why she needs to come back. She can't come back. She's not Michael Myers. She's not Jason. She cannot come back from the dead. Just get rid of her. Get rid of her once and for all. Once Naima, once they tell the kids or the kids find out about this extra baby on the side, then let them and Haley or whatever the daughter name, bye. Just go bye. Just bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. I would definitely like to see. I want to see more of Morris Chestnut. I think he was a good addition, and even I was a little surprised to find him in season 3. But I like their dynamic. I like where they've grown to, where their relationship has gone to.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more. Now, he's supposedly in Chicago. I say move him back to Cali. You know, I don't know if they open up a firm together. That I don't know if that would be, because they're two strong entities. Yeah. The entities are too strong for them, in my opinion, to work together. So I don't see them actually merging to have that happen. But I would like to see him. I would like to see Joseph Sikora. I would like to see all of them work together on this case. That I'd like to see, you know. And I'm hoping that this kid has absolutely nothing to do with this murder. That's what I'm hoping.
You know what crossed my mind? You know, with the father, what I'm thinking, what might happen, there might be some kind of conversation that he has with Jax about his drug addiction that kind of relate or give her some insight to what's going on with her client.
Okay.
With his drug use and stuff like that.
Okay.
And so I'm expecting to see a little bit of that. They didn't hint that, but because he got this long history. He said he's been 5 years
clean. Yeah.
Clean. Oh, but wait a minute though. All right, now where it first starts off, she sees she's walking in a room, and then she goes like, "Oh my God!" Like somebody's laid out.
Right.
I'm thinking maybe it's the father now. I'm trying to think who she's talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Or they may twist it up and do the mama. I don't know. I was trying to figure out like who would that be on the floor.
Right.
That be that she's like, oh no. And then I'm saying to myself, could it also be where the person's not dead, but just the person being kind of out gives her that level of scare because she doesn't know they could be dead, and that's what she's responding to. So I'm like, are they kind of duping us into doing what they did the first go round with the Michael Ealy,
my man Michael Ealy.
And she was tied up and all of this kind of stuff. So I too am wondering, who is that? Are you going to give us, is that going to be the last episode like you did the last time of the season, and then that's how we're going to end. Kenny says, I think Jax is going to have her own law firm. And she says, I like it so far. So, we're with you, Kenny. We are really enjoying season 3. I think, what is it, 10 episodes? So we're up to episode number 4. So next week, are we doing 4 through 6?
Okay.
6? Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's do that, and we'll find a movie to review, and then we'll be into our official nominations for our My 2 Cents Awards. So we'll see. All right, it's been great. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. Make sure you watch Reasonable Doubt Season 3, Episodes 4, 5, and 6. That's what we will be reviewing. And Episode 4 is already here. So catch up.
I watched it. It's good. You're going to like it.
All right. So,
Okay.
all right. Thank you so much. God Spares, check us out in the morning. Myself, Brother Ainsley, Brother Al, Pastor Jeff, and Pastor KL on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph from 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. God Spares, we'll see you then.
But loud.